pretty wild queen. Red house on a track. Way downtown. One hill, one fire. Don't know how. Boom, boom. I got the boom, boom. To the love. Eddie Wild Queen. Eddie Wild Queen. Wild Man D. Wild Man D. I'ma tell this story. How my wild got lured. Mama, don't worry. Just tell my story. Eddie Wild Queen. Pretty, pretty wild queen. Wild Man D. He came from me. I spit the seed. He popped the beat. Coochie Molly. Boom, boom. Early that morning. Mardi Gras morning. Drop with no warning. Early that morning. Early that morning.
I'm Wild Queen Patrina Peters, Red Hawk on the tribe.
Early that morning. Early that morning.
And we really stand, like I said, for the ones that's coming out today. Because if we wouldn't have brought the Indians out, it wouldn't have been no Indians on our behalf. It would have probably been Indians on other behalf, like the Pocahontas and the Flamer Arrows or whatever. But we brought out our side of the Ninth Ward Indians, and it was a real Indians because we all got together and we sewed and we stuck our fingers with the needles trying to sew the costumes. We stood up late at night trying to sew the costumes. It just wasn't no rest to it till we had it done. We came out with the flaming arrows of the family. It was a family thing. We all enjoy being into that as family.
Uncle Freddie, Adrian, my Uncle Mitchell, and James McFadden, they all started in like 72 with the Flaming Arrows. Mm-hmm. And like the other Indians, they mostly didn't come into the tribes until like the later 80s. But it was Adrian Scott, he was the founder of the Flaming Arrows. And Gwendolyn Scott, which was his wife at the time, she was the first queen of the Ninth Ward. And my Uncle Freddie McFadden, the second, and Beatrice, she was the second queen, and he was the spy boy. And then I also had my Uncle Mitchell McFadden and his late wife Georgia May McFadden, which was the third queen of the Ninth Ward. And my Uncle James McFadden, he was the flag boy. So that was the beginning of our first generation.
The first beginning of
the first Indians. Generation and the first beginning of the Indians from the Ninth Ward. My son first started masking in 2001. He was 9 years old. And he masked with my Uncle James McFadden, Sr. He had started his tribe from the Ninth Ward, which was the family tribe. And it's my uncle, his son, my son, and one of my uncle's son's friend. And that was the year they started the family tribe. Then we had to come up with a name. Well, what y'all gonna call yourself? You know, he gonna hit the shoe. So then my uncle, he come up and he said, well, we always was the family. We always did block parties, you know, big weddings. I mean, you know, the whole 10 yards, you know. So he was like, well, we're gonna call ourselves the Lamar Street Boogie Owls. He said, yeah. He said, the Lamar Street Boogie Owls. Then we had a dance.
And everybody would used to say, the Main Street Boogie Y'all sing, shoot. We're gonna shoot, like that. So all of that went into play as what we called our family tribe. As honorary queen, after the passing of my son, Wildman Demond Peters, great honor. Because my son, Wildman D, he was one of the best. And to have been asked to mask in his honor, this is unexplainable. Because it makes me feel like you're being glorified. And you have to prove yourself. Once you've asked to be honorary queen, and it's not often. From the Ninth Ward, you're either going to be an Indian or you're going to be a second liner. And so the year before that, I had him to go with the Ninth Ward steppers. And so he did the second line, but he could second line, but that wasn't his joy. I had asked him, did he wanted to do the second line again next year? So he was like, no, Mom, I don't want a second line. That's not what I want to do. He said, I want to be an Indian. The mom was a miracle child. Him and my daughter were 10 years apart. My daughter she was my first queen, but my son was my baby. God spare, I'm coming. And this was my son's last suit. This was his headpiece. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming in his last suit he started sewing on. I just got to do a little rearranging. But I'm coming. Mm-hmm. In the honor of her brother, Wildman D! Wildman D! Anything with the Mardi Gras Indian, I'm there. If I'm feeling well, I'm there. I'm there. That's my joy. That's my joy. For me to get out this house, you got to almost drag me if I'm not going to the doctor, to the store or something. Other than that, I'm home. And they know it's to get me away from home. But they can't. I got the boom boom. I got the boom boom. If it wouldn't have been for them and the Queens, oh Lord, the Hall of Fame,
because they inducted him in the Hall of Fame. But his tribe, the Indians from all over the city. When my son, the homegoing celebration, and for to be a young man, it was so beautiful. I had never seen nothing like it. That's what happened to me when I came out of the church. I hadn't seen the Indians coming in and stuff, but to actually see everybody, every Indian that was out there was fully suited. And it was hot. It was in June. The love they showed. And they still show it. That's what helped me. That's what helped me. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Get back. I'm moving kind of slow, but I'm going to be all right.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm going to be all right. I got it. Adi wow. Adi pretty wow. No reason to run, no reason to hide. I got the boot. I got the boot. Going uptown. Going downtown. Adi wow queen. Adi wow queen. Red Hawk Hunter Tribe. CTC. Hooray, let them come. Nobody scared and nobody run. Adi wild queen. Adi wild queen. Say yours.
No reason to hide.
That's my little queen.
Her and then her.
It's not easy. But I know through what being on that roof for Patrina and looking there was just, it wasn't, it's like this ain't no light at the end of the tunnel. Just like you in the middle of no man's land, but you're surrounded in nothing but water. But throughout all of that, I kept the faith. Because even I was going, I said, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna drown. But at the same time, I was still praying to God. And I was still saying, Lord, I put my trust and faith in you. I said, man failed me. You say you never leave me nor forsake me. But I didn't lose my faith. I didn't lose my faith. And I think that's what kept me. It's my faith in God. And after, and up until now, and I've been through worse devastation. I thought Katrina was the worst. Losing my son. I don't worry. You know, I don't worry. I don't even worry how to pay the bill. I don't worry. I trust in God. And whatever I feel that in this life, that I endure, it's for me to be a stronger and a better person. It's God using me for some purpose, for some reason, for the help of somebody else. And that's why I just tell everybody, I don't care, you know, keep the faith. Whatever your belief is, whoever you worship as your God, but this one God, but keep the faith. Keep your belief, but not with nobody else. Not, it's you. Keep the faith, and that's what's gonna carry you through.
We are in Yans, I say, in